Welcome everybody to the Wednesday Loving Kindness Meditation class. My name is Alex. It's wonderful to be here with you today. It feels really nice. Travis has the fans on. And it's actually, we're getting a nice kind of breeze in here, a nice cross breeze. But as nice as it is, it's not as nice as seeing you. It's not as nice as seeing your faces and hearing your questions, with my own ears, and not through a chat box. But that's okay. This is just the time we live in. It's something that we have to do, and it just isn't a problem. It just isn't a problem. One thing that we learn in a loving kindness practice, and we learned this from the Metta Sutta or the Metta Sutra, which is the Buddha's discourse on loving kindness, is that loving kindness can permeate our entire day. Every hour of our day, every minute of our day, every second of our day, we can think about and be mindful of loving kindness. It's just not a practice, a seated meditation practice, even though that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to do a seated meditation practice in loving kindness. Last week, I had a lot to talk about. So I think I spent the first almost half hour of the class just talking about something. I don't even know what I talked about. I don't go back and watch myself, so the only way I know how kind of what I talked about is to see what Travis has captioned on the talk. So that's the only reason how I know anything. But I'm hoping that you're all getting used to this, that this isn't something that's new and scary and uncertain, and all that uncertainty and fear has kind of gone away, and that you know what to do. You realize that wearing a mask and social distancing are acts of loving kindness, and that you continue to do those with a grateful heart and a generous heart, because you do need a generous heart, and you have a generous heart if you wear a mask and use social distance, because you're protecting yourself and you're actively protecting others as well. So if you're new, or if you're not new to the Dharma Bum Temple, or even to this loving kindness class, say something in the chat box. Just say hi or post something and let me know that you're there. Like I said earlier, I can't see your face. I wish I could see your face, but I can't see your face, and that's just what it is right now. And so this helps you, and it helps me engage and connect. And so if you just want to say a little hi or anything like that would be great. Also, if you have any questions about loving kindness, if you have any questions about Buddhist practice, if you have any questions about anything, that'd be okay. Just type those into the box and we'll get to them after the meditation. Anybody say hi?
Yes. So Lori and Teresa are new, and they said namaste.
Rock on, Lori and Teresa. Are they together or are they separate?
They're the same username.
Same, Lori and Teresa. Well, welcome Lori and Teresa. Namaste to you as well, of course.
And then Mary said, "Good evening. This is my first time here. Thank you for hosting this."
Very exciting, Mary. I'm glad to have you here. So the format of this class is we're going to have this little introduction, and we're going to have our loving kindness meditation, and then afterwards sometimes I have something to say, sometimes I don't. I just like to take questions, and who knows what's going to happen. I don't know. It's kind of different a lot of the time. So like I said last week, I just started yapping even before the meditation because I had a lot to get out. And, one of the things, kind of before we start with seated instructions and everything like that, and before we get into our loving kindness meditation, one of the things I just laugh sometimes when I catch myself getting impatient or, getting angry or, stuff like that. And I don't get mad at myself anymore for that, because it happens, I'm a human being. But I just seem to laugh. I was on I work at home now. I work for a software company, and we have I work for a really small company. And so we do like a 2:00 conference call every day. It's on, well, not Zoom, but Microsoft Teams, which is, essentially the same thing. And, there are, I have triggers, certain things trigger me still. One of those things is talking too long about a topic. And so we're talking about this topic at work, and it's okay. And, I'm not really in control of the call, but I'm just kind of trying to direct things because we talked about a particular subject, and I go, okay, everybody good? Okay, great. Okay, how about we have an update from Mike? And because we all go around and do update, tell everyone what's going on with us. And so I said, okay, Mike. And then the person who just finished talking starts talking some more. And I just want to clarify, and oh my God, you guys, we don't need to clarify. Then he clarified, then somebody else clarified, which is, they didn't even clarify, they re-clarified. Actually, they re-clarified. So it's hard working with that kind of OCD. You don't need to re-clarify. I get it. So I got a bit short. And, I was thinking about that just before, we all know each other well, and so no one takes anything personally. And so I was thinking about that before class today. And it's like, yeah, oh, Alex, you could be more patient. And so, I don't know. That's what's happening. So we're going to do a loving kindness meditation. All right. Oh, and no one knows that I do this loving kindness meditation either, so. Because I haven't told them. I'm probably not going to tell them either. Okay, maybe I will. All right, if you're seated on a cushion, you just want to make sure that your seat is higher than your legs, and like you're sitting on like the forward third of the cushion, and you're seated in a cross-legged position, so you're making that kind of tripod with your body, and that's the reason people sit like that is because it's nice and stable, and they're not likely to move around too much, And normally, people can sit like that relatively comfortably. So if you can sit like that, wonderful. If you can't, just sit in the most comfortable way that you can sit. And if you have to move a little bit, like during the meditation, like move your leg a little bit here, a little bit there, that's okay. But let's try to stay as still as possible, because it's better for our meditation, it's better for our mind. Okay. If you're seated on a chair, you just want to make sure that your feet are flat on the floor with your legs a few inches apart, just like I am right here. I'm not putting my back against the chair. I'm just kind of here, and my back, my core is engaged. So what I like to do is I like to make my back super duper straight. My core is engaged, and then I just kind of relax. So I'm just relaxing my shoulders. And my core is still somewhat engaged. I'm not leaning against the back of the chair. And so if you remember anything, just remember to keep your back straight. Your hands can be anywhere, so I like to put my hands on either like my legs or in my lap, like this. Sometimes I just kind of alternate. Depends on what's comfortable for me to do. Your head is nice and straight. Your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, with the tip of the tongue against the back of the front teeth. And that normally prevents a lot of saliva from forming. And then finally, the eyes. And you can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. Usually in the West, it's just easier to close your eyes. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to, you can also like half close your eyes, kind of looking 45 degrees down past your nose in this kind of soft, unfocused gaze. If you've ever been to the temple here and seen these wonderful tankas, these paintings, or even these statues here, a lot of the times they have the statues of the various Buddhas and Bodhisattvas with their eyes just kind of half closed, this kind of soft, unfocused gaze, and so that's perfectly fine to sit that way. So again, do what's comfortable for you to do. And really what we're trying to do is we're trying to get you into a position where you're not struggling. You're not struggling with your seated position, and you're not struggling with anything. You're not struggling with your mind. You're not struggling with the temperature. So get comfortable. Find that secure and sustainable seated position. And if you have to move, don't get upset. If your mind is going crazy, don't get upset. If you can't stay on the breath, don't get upset. Right? If you can't follow the instructions, don't get upset. So just relax. You struggle so much in your daily life. I know that you do because I do. We all do, and that's just normal. And so we don't want to bring that struggle into meditation. If we get uncomfortable, if we have to move, if we have to stretch, if we have just to open our eyes just for a few seconds or a minute even, if you have to get up and stretch your legs and stretch your arms, that's also fine. Do what you need to do, sit back down in your seated position and start again. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. This practice is all about starting again because we know we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be perfect with our patients, just like I wasn't perfect with my patients today. We're not going to be perfect with our loving kindness or our compassion or our concentration. We're not going to be perfect with our intentions and all those different types of things. But the purpose of practice is trying again and getting better and getting more skillful. Because pretty much everything we do in this practice is a skill. And skills need to be practiced. And we can't be beating ourselves up all the time just because we make a mistake. Right. So get in that nice, comfortable position. Get my handy dandy timer out. Here we go. And let's start. So just allow your eyes to close. And when we do so, we also make sure that we have that nice and comfortable and sustainable seated position. So we're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit like a Buddha. Whether this is your first time meditating, or whether you're newer, or whether you've been meditating for a long time, each time we sit like a Buddha, upright and dignified, ready for the task at hand, to open our heart, to include as many people into our heart of loving kindness. So at first, let's try just to connect with the breath. So let's just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. At first, not forcing the breath, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural. Settling into our seated position. Following the breath all the way in, all the way out. And you can focus on your breath at the base of the nostrils. Feeling the air go all the way in, all the way out. This is the only thing that you have to do. So we'll spend just the first couple of minutes here just connecting to the breath, calming the mind and calming the body, which will get us into a really good place for loving kindness meditation. So just for the next couple of minutes, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. So to begin our practice of loving kindness, we can start with what we call a benefactor. And a benefactor is anyone who has shown us great love and great kindness. Someone, you just think of this person and you just naturally smile just because of how they've benefited you. And your heart naturally just gets bigger and warmer. And this person can be living or not living. And this person could be a family member. This person can be a best friend or a friend. This person could be just even someone famous who's meant a lot to you. Maybe not a romantic partner, but everyone else is on the table. And you can start wishing loving kindness for them either by repeating phrases over and over. Phrases like, may you be happy, and say their name. May you be safe from inner and outer danger. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at peace and live at ease in this world. You can repeat one or more of those phrases, or you can simply imagine a beam of loving kindness radiating from your heart to theirs. And this beam can be warm or cool. It could be any color. It could be pulsing or vibrating. However you want to radiate love and kindness to your benefactor or benefactors. It could be more than one. Noticing your own heart to open. So for the next few minutes, we'll do this practice for our benefactor. Now shifting our focus just a little bit from doing this practice for a benefactor to now imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. So again, just picturing your benefactor who loves and cares for you so much, who's meant so much to you. You're going to imagine them either repeating these same phrases for you or just radiating a beam of loving kindness from their heart to yours. And again, this beam can be any color, vibrating or not, warm or not. And the task here is to see how much of this loving kindness you can let into your own heart. And sometimes it helps to put your hand over your heart while you're going through this practice and noticing if there's any resistance. If you're imagining your benefactor doing this loving kindness practice for you, radiating loving kindness to your heart, can you let it all in? Or is there any resistance? If there's any resistance, you don't need to question it or figure out why. Can you breathe into that resistance? Opening and softening. And this also helps to smile. And so for the next few moments, we'll do this practice where we imagine our benefactor wishing us loving kindness. And now we can do this practice for ourselves the most important part of this practice is being able to have loving kindness for yourself. Because if you can't have that experience of loving kindness in your own heart, how do you expect to wish other people loving kindness if you don't know what that feels like? And for many of us, this is the hardest part of the practice too, because of how we're conditioned. And that's okay. If you want, you can still keep your hand over your heart. And you can begin to repeat these phrases for yourself. May I be happy. And maybe that's all you say. May I be happy. May I be happy and do the things that cause happiness. May I be happy and do the things that cause happiness. Or maybe you can even just imagine your heart getting bigger and bigger and warmer. Or you can do both. However you want to do it is fine. So for the next few moments, let's do this practice of metta, of loving kindness, unconditional friendliness, and goodwill. Let's do this practice for ourselves. And smile, because that helps. last part of our practice of loving kindness, we can begin to do this practice for all beings in all directions. And if you want, you can start out just by going to everyone in your neighborhood, then everyone in the city, then everyone in the county, everyone in the state, and just keep going out and further out and out. If it gets uncomfortable, then just stop where you are and wish loving kindness to as many people as possible. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe and healthy, free from danger, filled with the heart of loving kindness. And may all beings do the things that cause happiness. And we'll do this to end our practice. So just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next 60 seconds out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. Keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you. If you have a question or a comment, now would be a good time also to type it into the chat box and Travis will read it to me and we'll do some Q&A. I have my bison pajamas on today. I don't know if you can see. I wear pajamas every day or every time I do this class. These are comfortable ones. They have pockets. Well, as usual, that was good for me. But your experience may vary, and that's okay. Your experience is just your experience. Maybe this was your first time doing a loving kindness meditation. This is just one way to do it. There are other ways to do it as well, but this is kind of what I'm sticking with for now. I'd be interested, because I'm always interested to hear what your experience of meditation is. Is it, was any part of it difficult? Did you encounter any resistance when your benefactor was doing it for you, or whether you were doing it for yourself? If so, were you able to breathe into it and kind of lessen that resistance? And did you judge that resistance at all? Because the tendency that we have is to judge that resistance, and we shouldn't be doing that if at all possible. That's okay if there's resistance. None of us are perfect people. Be wonderful to hear from you. So anything that you have to say, ask.
So Mary asked, the phrase, like, may you be happy, may you be well, do you repeat it out loud or silently?
Silently. I probably should have specified that, Mary, because I knew you and Lori and Teresa were new. And I probably should have said that. Yes, silently. Or I would say, if you're just by yourself, you can say it out loud. Or just whisper it, or just, may I be happy. That's okay if you want to do that. I mean, if you're in a group of people, that's different. But like if you're here at the temple, then say it silently. But if you're at home, you can say it out loud. That's okay. But normally we just say silent. That's a good question. Thank you, Mary.
Dr. B shared, that was great. I felt like a dancing flower. Thank you, and I have on my pajama pants too.
Nice. I encourage pajamas. I highly encourage pajamas. When I was starting this class, online, I'd done it like in person, forever. I don't know what made me just think of pajamas, because I think I did it just because I wanted everyone to be comfortable. I wanted, wherever you're seated, whether you're at home, whether you're at the park outside, or wherever it is you are, that you're comfortable. And it's okay to be as comfortable as possible. And so I wear my big giant pajamas. I got like extra large. And they're a little baggy, but I love them like this. And so I'm comfortable, and I want to be comfortable, and I encourage you to be comfortable too. So Dr. B, thank you so much. Dancing flower, I've never heard that, but hey, that's awesome. I love it. However you want to express that is fantastic. Comfortable.
Canalita shared, first time with you all, ironically also in pajama pants.
Nice. What kind of pajama pants? So this is for both you and Dr. B. What kind of pajamas? Anything on the pajamas? Like I have buffalo or bison on mine. You know? I want to get the lobster one. Because you're my lobster. If you remember that. Yeah, and you know, also the other thing about being really comfortable, whether you're in pants or, you know, big baggy shorts or big baggy t-shirt or, you know, whatever it is, it's just another way to express loving kindness for yourself. Because you're telling yourself, I want to give myself a chance. You know, I want to have, you know, the best experience possible or the most beneficial experience possible. And being comfortable is one way to do that. And it's hard, you know, sometimes. Because, you know, it's like, life is hard enough normally. And now we have life in lockdown, which is even harder. Now, even though I say that, most of you, I hope most of you are used to this by now, maybe you're not. And even if you are used to it, doesn't mean you like it. You know, so life is even harder than normal. And so why not be comfortable? Why not be comfortable all the time? Why not wear pajama pants the entire day? If that's going to help you, like, stay in a good mood, wear pajama pants every day, all day. I should do that. I'm in pajama pants, I don't know, much of the day. And when I'm not in pants, I'm in big shorts. So, you know, why not? Be good to yourself. This is a loving kindness class, and isn't that a wonderful way to have loving kindness for yourself?
Dr. B asked if there's a place they can find the phrases to repeat.
Yeah, usually there's so the thing about the phrases, and this, you know, if you just Google loving kindness meditation phrases, you'll find them. Usually, I stick to relatively standard ones, like, may I be happy, may I be safe from inner and outer danger, may I be well in body and mind, may I be at peace and live at ease in this world. That last one isn't standard. I made that one up, but I like it a lot. But the thing about these phrases is that you can use a phrase of your own device, you know, of your own imagination, so long as it has a loving and a kind intention, and you can repeat it easily. And it's not too long, you know, in that it's easily repeatable. So yeah, and you know, I saw one time on, I think it was on Oprah, Super Soul Sunday, where this woman was talking about, and I say these loving kindness phrases all the time, and they were just the standard phrases, and not just the standard phrases, or they were these standard phrases, and I was like, girl, mix it up. You don't have to stick with the standard phrases. There's no extra points if you do. The purpose is to generate a heart of loving kindness. And, you know, when you generate a heart of loving kindness, your heart gets bigger. So any heart, you know, I keep on saying this is a heart biggening exercise. So you need to embiggen your heart. Where does the embiggen come from again? No, somebody told me. I forget. But you just want to make your heart bigger. That's all. Because again, like I say, you know, especially if you're new to this practice, and if you do this practice a while and you realize your heart gets bigger, and that it can include more people, and you realize that, you know, over your life, the way that you've been conditioned, the way that we've been conditioned in this culture, is that it shrinks our heart. It's like this big giant hand is like crushing us. And this hand is all of our expectations and all of our suffering and all of our conditioning, how we're supposed to think of ourselves. Like if we think of ourselves, then we're selfish, and that's horrible. Well, if we think of ourselves as selfish and there's a good kind of selfish. And the good kind of selfish means that we practice self-care. And the good kind of selfish is that we take care of ourselves first, then we take care of other people. Just like when the masks come down in the airplane, what do they tell you? They tell you, put the mask over your own face first, then put the mask over your child. You have to take care of yourself first, so that you can then take care of your child. Right? But we always, we're conditioned to kind of do the opposite. And so this practice helps us to kind of, break that conditioning and make our heart bigger. Because right now it's like the Grinch. It's 2 sizes too small. So make your heart bigger. Sorry, never mind. I wanted to say something about that. So any questions, any comments, just how your experience was? Wonderful. Thank you to the newcomers who actually asked questions. I appreciate that. And Dr. B, did you say that you were new as well, or no?
Oh, Dr. B's been around for a while.
Okay. Travis told me. I don't know everybody's name, so. In fact, I don't know anybody's name. And it's weird because, I don't know, maybe I don't ask. I don't know.
They said, I have been to the temple, I miss you all.
I miss you. You said it, Dr. B?
Yeah.
Miss you guys. Miss all of you guys. And like I said again, it's harder, to do this class, on this channel, because I can't see you. I don't know if you're smiling or not. I don't know if you're in a good mood or not. I don't know how this lockdown is treating you. There are so many people unemployed, and who have a whole lot of anxiety. Maybe they're getting stimulus money, maybe not. Maybe they had to move back in with their parents, or move in, sleep on a friend's couch, or anything like that. And I think about that a lot during the day. And one of the wonderful things about this loving kindness practice is you can hold all those people in your heart, and you can wish them all loving kindness. And you can do it any time during the day. So I think a lot about the struggles that a lot of people have during this, during this lockdown time. And I think about how following the science of social distancing and mask wearing not only saves lives, but it will be the thing that will get us back to normal, whatever that is, because whatever we come back to will be something new. It won't be the life we left. But I know you just want to go outside and go to the beach and go to the park and hug your friends, and hug your family and hug everybody. Because right now I really just want to hug everybody, because I am a hugger. And I can't do any of that. I had a birthday early last month, and I went with my friend, and we met at a restaurant, and we couldn't hug. We just sat down across from each other, and that was it. We had dinner, and that was it. So I don't know. I miss a lot of that stuff too.
Tom shared, someone told me loving kindness meditation was the perfect way to develop compassion for those we feel are the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the more that we can have, and so let me kind of explain this a couple of different ways. So loving kindness, metta, is the first of the 4 heart practices in Buddhism. And it's the most important one because it's foundational in nature. All right? We have to have loving kindness, especially for ourselves. And if we have loving kindness for ourselves, the wrongs that people have done us in the past, the ways that people have hurt us, when we remember those things, they don't have such a hold anymore. They're not crushing our heart like they used to, because we have loving kindness for ourselves. And we have that experience of loving kindness for ourselves. And then it makes it so much easier to practice the other heart practices, the next one of which is compassion. Right? So, and compassion is what happens to loving kindness when it encounters suffering. It wants that suffering to stop. So when we encounter our own suffering, we want that suffering to stop. When we encounter the suffering of another, we want that suffering to stop. So absolutely, this heart practice of metta, this loving kindness, is foundational. It is what we need to practice with the most urgency, so that when we go to compassion, which is being with the suffering of another, it's so much easier because our heart is already filled with loving kindness. So thank you. That's wonderful. All right. If there's no more, that's okay. Oh, there is one more.
Well, Dr. B asked if next week you could share a Buddha story about love.
I have to think about that. You mean metta? If it's metta, maybe. I don't know if we have any stories about that specifically. But we'll see. It's a good one, though. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was wonderful to be here with you all. I love you all. And let's join our palms together on our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this meditation, this discussion, be received by all beings. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that we are. Thank you for coming, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye now.